So I don't really believe this. It's so annoying. Fantastic handwriting. Carnage that the cat has reaped overnight.
Breathe that in.
Really old style house. All of that has been ripped out. I'm going to be completely unoriginal for a minute.
This is Johnny, and he's an old friend of mine. Are we friends?
So I don't really believe this, but I've just gone that whole trip with no audio. This little red lead is dodgy. Now, stupidly, didn't think to test that, because before, whenever I've used the GoPro, plugged it in, boom, 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 bish, bosh, bosh, it works, no problems. So I've just been recording all this footage, and I've got no audio. It's so annoying. I've got so much good footage with like banter with the guys in the cave and the ball seals and the... I can't believe it. I'm just going to go from here, as if you've not heard anything. I'm up in Barnard Castle. I started on the very southwest tip, right down in Land's End in England. I'm now right up in the northeast, getting my eyes tested. I'm so gutted. I can't believe it. I feel like I've just lost all motivation for this video now, because I had such good footage. However, the show must go on. I'm going to go in and just start stripping out cables and stuff. I'll quickly show you around what we've got. Alright, so here it is. So it's like a really old style house. I reckon probably a lot of these stones have been nicked off the castle itself. But as you can see, it's all been stripped out. This was the end of the building here, but they've put a steel in and extended it all out that way. So my plan is I've got to go through all of this, and I think a lot of this is all old and unused, because we've got a lot of cut ends and bits and pieces and old earthing cables and stuff, and so you got a load of cut ends up there. So I reckon half of this can come out, and just for OCD's sake, I'm actually going to start stripping it out, just so we have a nice clean run in the season of all of our wires, and we'll be able to reuse a lot of them roots and holes then as well. It's quite cool. That got an old wire nut. That was well, they still use them in America, but back in the day, 4 connector blocks and away he goes. A pretty solid connection, really. So it'll be a cool comparison, comparing that to what I have in my pocket. There we go. History and the now. Doubt any of our subscribers will remember ever using them. I don't think we have any old enough, really. I reckon they're probably from 40s or 50s or something. Right, I'll set up and I'll just start going through all of this and ripping it all out. The consumer unit's just through here. So that consumer unit's just there. So it should be pretty straightforward. I think I'll probably just do a new ring for out there, or a new 4mm radial spur for the boiler, etc. Got plastic in coming, so I don't need to worry about bonding and all that kind of bits and pieces. So I'll probably just start off marking up with Johnny. See you in a bit. So this one here, I think was lighting. I've sort of managed to trace it through, and it's connected onto that. So I should be able to just chop that and then remove all of that. I've just removed all of this out of the ceiling. This wall here we want blank. This is going to be a feature wall, so it's going to look a bit like that. So it's all going to be chopped out, polished and cleaned up, and then repointed with the lime mortar or whatever it is that they use. The only thing is, to be honest, I've not got tons of experience working with these types of buildings. Like, we don't really have old stone built houses like this in any of the places I've worked for. We'll just have to figure it out. All these cables, basically, the light switch is going to stay there because that's where the doorway is for all of the lighting throughout the rest of the property. But obviously we don't really want any sort of conduit or whatever coming down there. We can't chase it in. So what I would presume we'll have to do is drill through, chase the other side of the wall, which is a plastered wall, fortunately, and then drill it back out again there. So then all the cables run behind the other side and poke through. It's the only way I can really think to do it. And same for the sockets. Those sockets there are all going, but they want a couple lower level, just for like phone chargers, that kind of thing. So what we'll probably do is drill through, chase it along inside that little utility room there, and just poke it out like that. So for now I need to start disconnecting all of these, but I've got to disconnect it but still keep the ring intact, and I can't really work out what's on what ring, so I might have to start switching some things off and see what we can do. But yeah, really annoying, because usually I can leave the mic set up and talk to you from over there, but I can't do that now because I've been wired into the GoPro because of these issues we're having, so you're gonna have to bear with us. Might just have to be a lot of time lapse. Right, so all of that has been ripped out. This is just all the old stuff and old kit. What we're doing is just tracing it all out. Obviously we want this wall here to be empty. The way this is all done is it's all run on trunking the other side of the wall and then poked through, so we'll probably do that again. I'm just thinking I might just...
Yeah, you can take them away.
I'm just going to disconnect them and take them off.
Well, yeah.
Well, we can actually put the sockets where you want them. Where? Do you want to mark out exactly where you want the sockets to go?
Do you not? Are you sure?
It might look a bit rubbish having them on that wall because they're not going to mount flush, are they?
Right.
Unless you get like a stonemason in to carve a box in. Yeah, I just prefer... Some people will just add on to, but otherwise you end up with mistakes happening as well. You end up with like an old live wire left in or whatever. For me personally... Exactly, I'd rather just have a blank canvas, strip out and start again. If you're rewiring, it means rewiring. Right. Do you want to hold this on here for me? Right, that on there.
That proves that it's dead.
Yeah, just chop it there. If you have a screwdriver, take that box off, and then that's all decommissioned. There we go. That's satisfying, isn't it? Cleaning that up. Right, there's the cat. This is the concrete we poured yesterday. And then you can see the carnage that the cat has wreaked overnight. Right, so that's the old ring out. I need to reconnect that. So what I'll have to do is disconnect it from this side, I think. Pop that off there. Should be able to just pull those straight out, I think. That's the cooker. And then, God, this is so damping. You know what, it'd be handy if they were on their own circuit, actually. I have a feeling they might be. Probably reuse that trunking, we just neaten it up a little bit. Oh yeah, I think that might well be its own circuit. What I'll do for now is I'll just bosh a socket on there. I'll run the cables through like that, put a socket there, that will complete the ring, that will give them a socket in here, and then for now I can then switch the circuit back on, and then that's disconnected it from there. So I'll get those boxes off. This is Johnny. Just in case all the footage on that video is lost, which I think it is. I think it is. So I'll explain to you what I'm doing in here. So at the minute, this is the ring, okay? This was going through to the kitchen, popping through in the different locations and split around amongst a ton of different sockets. I've just found, well, I say I've just found, this is a socket that I ripped out earlier in the kitchen. I'm going to reuse this because, well, there's nothing wrong with it. give them a socket just there, bosh that on next to the trunking. I'll wire that in now, and then I can lid up the trunking and stuff again. And the reason why I'm doing that is just so that I've then completed the ring again, because the other option is just stick it in some Wagos or something, but there's no point in doing that if I can give them an extra point for free, because it's sitting here. And then I can turn the power back on and we can charge batteries and things in here. So I'm going to crack on with that now. So I'm going to be completely unoriginal for a minute. I've got some all-round band and I've got some black PVC Copex. Now, I'm going to nick a Nick Bundy idea. I don't even know if it was his idea, but I saw him on Instagram doing it. So I'm going to pinch it. Just where you do that, buzz a screw through there, zip in the joist, and there you have some nice cable clips. So what I'll do is I'm going to run loads of those through the joists, and then I can just bosh my cables in. I don't have to worry about cable clipping or any of that faff. I can just get it all done in one hit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-make up a load of these all to the same length-ish. That's what we operate on at Artisan-ish. And then I'm just going to screw them all up in place, about 400mm apart or so. And then I can start pulling cables in. Right, so I've got to do all the boiler controls and boiler power. So I've got this here, which is like the thermostat, which I've just removed, because it's all going to need adjusting. At the minute I'm just going around mounting boxes, so I've got sockets there for a couple of appliances. I've got the spur, which is going to come out for the boiler, mounted a socket there. So I've just gone around marking up off the drawings where things are going, so I can do measurements and that for the lighting. I've got all of that wall clear. A lot of the ceiling section here now is clear, but I've got so much to do, so I think I'm going to have to just crack on with it and then film again when I've actually got an update. I've put a socket on in here as well. So that's on now. So that's the ring completed again for downstairs, so at least that's one section done. See you shortly. Right, so we've got quite a bit done. The builder's been busy away building this wall, so as soon as he's got that wall on, I've now got the cables in place. So that's all in and capped up. Well, that wall is now clear of all the rubbish that was on it. Started tidying these up a little bit of all the mess that was on there. And then that's our new cable route there, which we've just been pulling bits through. That socket is temporarily live because that's on the downstairs ring. The legs that were in here, I've just whacked on a socket so that we could liven that back up. And then what I've done is I've done a utility radial. So this whole area here is on its own circuit, and punching out the wall there for an outdoor socket, and off there for an outdoor heater. This I can't cap just yet because it's only just been pointed, so it's a little bit wet still on that side. And then a whole separate ring for the kitchen, so it comes in down there, along, drops down to some under cabinet sockets, up, along there, and then it's going to drop down and do a load of bits on this side. I've just been spray painting it where everything's going with fantastic handwriting. And then that'll be that area there, all done. And then we've just got to focus on lighting and stuff. But tomorrow we've got the place to ourselves. And I should have Johnny helping me as well, because he's been helping the builder today. But the builder's off tomorrow, so I've got the whole free run of the place, which would be good, so I don't have to work around anyone else. So I'm really hoping to get sort of 80% done tomorrow, if I get a nice early start on it, and then that will allow me just to have a bit more of a chill day on Friday, just wrapping up any snagging bits, changing bits, moving bits around, whatever needs doing. Even little bits of second fix if we can, like we might be able to second fix. Nah, actually there's nothing really that we can second fix. I was going to say, well, maybe we could do like some of the outside socket or whatever.
We're in Barnard Castle. Thought we'd come and just get my eyesight tested. Bit of car, little English politics jokes for you there. Shouldn't be making them. This channel is completely not political. This is Johnny.
Hello.
And he's an old friend of mine. Were we friends?
Oh,
I hope so. I've come a long way to help
How
you.
many years did you say? 5 years?
I think you have to officially be friends with someone for 7 years. Now that's for them to be an essential part of your life.
Right. Okay. So
Like, as in when you've been friends for 7 years, they're cemented. Like you'll
never forget them.
You'll never forget. You could easily forget me if I. I think I'm still at least 4 or 5 years off that stage of our friendship, so you could forget me. Anyway, back to the video. Important things aside, we thought it'd be best to do a COVID test. So we've done, just because I've been travelling around the country, I've been all over the show as you will have seen. So we've got the NHS one out the way, but we thought would just be belt and braces, and just do our own test as well. So I don't think you can ever really be too certain. So this is a test that Duro manufacturer, or is this Highland 12?
This is Duro.
It's a Duro. Yeah, it's the northeast way of testing things. And you just want to test your sense of smell. So
it's not bad.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Mine's good. Okay, and you want to test that you can still taste things. So that's the 2 symptoms really. So. I think I'm good.
I can taste that.
Thing is though,
It's not bad.
I just don't think it's worth risking it. Like, just doing it once. I've travelled around quite a lot. I feel like it's just be worth
Another one.
just another test. Yeah, just. You know, I can definitely.
You can still taste it.
I can taste it.
Smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, the thing is as well, I feel good about doing this because I was worried for a little while that the channel was stopping its educational side of it, but now we're doing good.
Yes.
Like, you know, we're doing this for the good of the community. So guys, if you're worried, then make sure to test, but also be doubly sure and just, you know, breathe that in. I look like a little girl now drinking a whiskey. So, just gotta be sure. Security, ignore the security tag. No, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're COVID free. We're not just doing electrics. Oh, good morning, Jenny.
Morning.
Sorry, we're just COVID tested.
Alright.
We're not just doing electrics, are we? We got the flooring to do.
Yeah.
Subflooring.
There's a great deal of subflooring to do.
I've got to go have my computer chip in my arm updated tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go get another vaccine. So once I'm done with that, once Bill Gates has had his way, I'll be on to the electrics, and hopefully not too well. So
Yeah.
should be a very different episode
So
for
it goes
people.
alright.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mixing tomorrow.
Lots of mixing cement. So we'll try and get some B-roll of some cement mixing and drone flying and wheel powering and.
I'm going to be wearing some older clothes.
Yeah.